57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good afternoon in the sunny UK. John Scott here, joined by the man himself, the Oracle of Professional Wrestling, the true heel heat, the A side of the cassette, as I always say, SP3. How are you this week, my friend?
I am doing wonderful. I am here with the best beard in wrestling media, John Scott, the budget cut of wrestling media and wrestling YouTube. John Scott, He predicts all the releases. All the releases is it's his cut. He's the budget cut, and we are here for the final Powered4SP3. It's a glorious season finale. It's going to be like the season finale of Friends, the season finale of, I don't know what UK show I can name, but
we don't want it to be Game of Thrones. We don't want that ending.
No.
We're not going to be like that on the Friends side of things.
It's going to be like the season finale of Martin. I'm going to write my name on the board on the wall behind me. It's going to be all the great season finales that you've ever seen. But you know, it's only the end of the Powered4SP3 chapter, because I'll be back here for more content, interviews, previews, and whatnot, talking about independent wrestling. But the Powered4SP3 era has come to a conclusion, so I'm happy to be here with you and everyone, the great, tremendous community of the Powered4 TV YouTube channel. You guys have been great. You guys have came over to the True Hill Heat channel, showed your support there, show your support here every single week with comments in the live chat even before we go live. So I love all the support here. So it is a fun and happy conclusion that we're going to have today.
Absolutely. And before anybody starts emailing me and messaging me, he's calling me the budget cuts. No, I'm not. There's no budget cuts internally with Powered4.tv. That is not the reason. I don't want that character to stick. You know, I don't want people to think, hang on a minute, he's taking the Nick Khan approach at Powered4.tv. He's going to streamline everything.
I'm the feed, Bray Wyatt. I got budget cut, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. So, but no, let's go out on a bang. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot. You could go out on a lot worse weeks than this one, that's for sure, because we've got a lot coming up. We've got a lot to talk about. And amazingly, SP3, one of the things we're not going to be talking about is releases this week. So far, I don't want to just. As we're recording this, who knows? I may have just tempted fate right there, because who knows? Somebody could be released within the next hour, given our record.
You may have just stepped in it. You may have just jinxed us.
Exactly. If that happens, I'm seriously worried. But yes, we are, of course, on the verge of AEW Rampage. We've also got Summerslam. We've got NXT TakeOver as well. So lots coming up this weekend. in professional wrestling, and I'd say it's a pretty good time to be a wrestling fan, because given pretty much the last 14, 16 months we've had to go through a lot of hardship. I know we've had WrestleMania, but that was kind of like only part excited I felt, because then it went straight back into doing Thunderdome shows, and I feel like it was a real come down after WrestleMania. I've got to be honest with you, seeing that. So it's kind of good that hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is going the right way. So let's get into it. I want to thank everybody who's been commenting. Leave them. We're going to get to them very shortly, but let's start at the top of the show, SP3, with this, and it is Adam Cole teases possibly leaving WWE. This has been very interesting, because obviously from what we're hearing, 1 minute he was, then he wasn't, then he had a meeting with Vince. Make this guy, get the creative team in, right? Get him something sorted out. Who knows what on earth is going on? What is the latest now with Adam Cole, SP3?
So to tell the full story, we have to go back all the way to last year when WWE put their foot down on third-party platforms for the WWE superstars, which led to numerous superstars like AJ Styles, Cesaro having to come off of Twitch, not play video games online, not have OnlyFans pages. This led to Zelina Vega being fired from WWE. She has come back. We suppose has worked out, putting her Twitch stream in her new deal with WWE. But for the most part, all the main roster superstars do not have like those third-party platforms like Twitch, OnlyFans, stuff like that. On NXT, it seems like it's a little bit different, where Triple H does allow his superstars to have their Twitch feeds. Tyler Breeze had his before he was released. Adam Cole is one of the future talents that has his own Twitch stream. Of course, Mia Yim as well as Dakota Kai have their own as well. But on the latest Twitch stream from Adam Cole, he put out a statement and basically said that a lot of things are going on right now with him, and no matter what, he's going to keep doing these Twitch streams, because these is very important to him, his connection with his fans and having that platform to talk to them, play video games, and just has fun is very important to who he is as a man and who he is as a WWE superstar or a professional wrestler. So he wants to keep that connection. And he said no matter what happens with him in the future, he is going to remain on Twitch. So that led many to believe that he is possibly teasing that he is, leaving WWE, because if he's staying with WWE, it is going to be the end of his run on NXT, and he's going to be called up to the main roster for Raw and SmackDown. Whether that means that he's going to work out a deal where he gets to keep his Twitch stream with his new deal with WWE, or he is possibly teasing WWE, it leans more to the latter than the former, because WWE has made it such a rarity. And even someone like Zelina Vega, which many sources like Fightful Select, PW Insider said that she worked out, putting her Twitch stream or remaining on Twitch into her deal. She hasn't been on Twitch in 5 months. Even before she re-signed with WWE, she was off of Twitch, and she hasn't been on Twitch since then. So it still remains that no main roster superstars have those third-party platforms. So does WWE want to set a precedent to like have others be like, well, he got to work out, putting Twitch on his deal. Why can't I? If I'm AJ Styles, I'm going to be looking at it like, why can't I? Why do I only have to play video games on Up, Up, Down, Down that's owned by WWE? Why can't I have my own Twitch stream? If I'm Cesaro, I'm like, guys, you haven't really pushed me since WrestleMania Backlash. Why can't I just play video games since you don't even have me on TV every single week? So it's either WWE is setting a precedent that's going to lead to other people asking for Twitch streams or trying to work out deals where they do have those third-party platforms, or this is Adam Cole kind of putting his foot down and saying that he is going to an AEW, which does allow people to do that. Evil Uno has his own Twitch stream. Miro has his own. So numerous different superstars, Kip Sabian, have their own Twitch stream when it comes to AEW, whereas WWE has put their foot down with these third-party platforms. So a lot of people have speculated that Adam Cole is teasing that he's leaving WWE. I do have it on good authority from a source of mine that he is really liking all the attention that he's getting. And although AEW can't send him a formal offer after this weekend, they can, because his deal will be up. And it is very interesting. I thought from the very beginning that Adam Cole, they didn't know Adam Cole's contract was up after, the Great American Bash, as we talked about previously on Powered4SP3. And he didn't re-sign for, 2 years or a year. He re-signed for a month, basically, a month and a half to SummerSlam weekend to finish off his run in NXT and his feud with Kyle O'Reilly. He wants to put over Kyle O'Reilly at TakeOver 36 this weekend. So it's very intriguing that he didn't decide to re-sign for longer and that he did this temporary extension so he can reconsider things. So this is a big factor, whether it's, big to you as a fan or not. It is very big to Adam Cole to remain on Twitch, to have that outlet, to have that platform. So it is a very interesting time for WWE when you have someone like Adam Cole in NXT, Pete Dunne in NXT, that contracts are coming up, and this will really maybe decide what's the future for WWE when it comes to these third-party platforms that they kind of put their foot down against. Is Adam Cole going to set a precedent where they have to revise those things, or is Adam Cole gonna leave and you're looking at it like, damn, we should have just let him have a switch?
Yeah, interesting, isn't it? And this whole third party stuff, like we've seen it with WWE, they get involved with doing the cameo stuff. I mean, those prices were unbelievable. Like, I think we spoke about that briefly, or somebody had commented how high.
$600 for Alexa Bliss to just say something in her regular character. It's not even like it's special. It's not even like, I did a cameo for me and my wife's anniversary, and Bret Hart put I just told Bret that, my wife's not feeling well. It's our 2-year anniversary. I told him my kid's name, and he put out a whole soliloquy, like 5 minutes, basically telling her, how much he appreciates her being a fan, hope she feels better, happy anniversary, Sydney and Harlem love you, and all that stuff. Whereas Alexa Bliss, you can give her a full paragraph of things, and she'll be like, hi, my name's Alexa Bliss, and hey, Jeremy, how you doing? It's great. Go order WWE Network and the Peacock and see me at SummerSlam. Bye, $600. Thank you.
Yeah, cha-ching. Not even the black goo come out of the eyes. We didn't even get the effects. My goodness, I'd expect everything for $600. But you wonder, a price that steep, what is the cut? What is the split between the person doing it and what are WWE getting out of it? And obviously, yes, Cameo take a percentage, but they don't take that high a percentage that you'd have to put up crazy prices like $600. That is unbelievable. So yeah, I think WWE with this third party, I just think, well, they're kind of like not that well educated about some of the stuff that is available to talent, I believe, as well. I don't quite think they understood what Twitch was when Paige was doing it and stuff like that, and what it offers. And so as soon as they somehow hear, oh, they're making money, it's like now they're interested. Now they want a piece of that, and now they kind of want to utilize that. And I kind of think it's a little bit unfair, considering that, quote unquote, wrestling WWE have always been branded independent contractors until something like that happens, and then it's not. So, it's you can't have it both ways sometimes. But it'll be interesting to see if Adam Cole, and like you say, will it have a ripple effect on everybody else? Because you can bet your bottom dollar if he somehow works that in, everybody else is going to want a piece of that. So that'll be very interesting. Let's take some comments then as we've been talking. Some people have been putting in some bits. We've got our good friend 5th Gen Carney. Hope everyone is doing well. Yes, and you, my friend. El Sacano saying no releases. No, not this week. Not so far anyway. Let's just leave it at that for now. Also, Rachel saying, you have been amazing, SP3.
Rachel's been one of my favorites from the Powered 4 TV community. So supportive here, so supportive on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We appreciate you, Rachel. And you'll see me very often on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, especially this week.
I was going to say he's basically 24/7 over the weekend. He's just going to have a camera wired up to his face. You know, it's not going to be removed. I'm smirking because of this next comment. I don't even know whether to flash this up. Mark Lloyd, what female wrestlers have OnlyFans in WWE? Just asking.
Is this the same Mark Lloyd that wishes that Julie Hart had an OnlyFans?
Yes.
Is this the same Mark Lloyd?
Exactly.
Okay. Just making sure we know which Mark Lloyd we're talking about here.
Yeah. Carnage Payne says Adam Cole will stay. I'm guessing that's what he's saying there. Yeah. And also Mark Lloyd, really, bro. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking to that one as well. And also says that Uncle Gripper here says, thought Total Carnage was amazing, by the way. Yes, Total Carnage was TNT Extreme Wrestling's latest offerings that we have on Powered4.tv. And they had the first ever UK women's deathmatch tournament. So if you want to go and check that out, now's a good time. And don't forget, when you sign up, use one code and one code only. We say it every week, and that is SP3. I haven't got it on the screen right now, but I will do in a second. But you guys know it's simple. SP3, 50% off your first month. Can't be better than that. And also, next up, Mr. SP3, we've got AAA decides basically Omega over Andrade. Tell us about this thing, because we saw, of course, the man himself was there, strutting, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun, kid stealing, limousine, jet flying, all the rest of it. The
limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun.
Exactly. The man himself, the crocodile shoes back in the day. Ric Flair was there, of course, in all this. But yeah, tell us a little bit about this then, SP3, and what does this mean going forward as well, especially with AAA and obviously AEW.
So yeah, this has to do with AAA's Triple Mania, which was this past Saturday. One of the headline matches was for the AAA Mega Champion of Kenny Omega defending against Andrade. So what it goes like is basically the story was that a couple of months back, or a month and a half back, Dave Meltzer reports that Tony Khan and AEW wanted Kenny Omega to hold on to the championship, because the original plan was for Kenny to hold on to be the belt collector until he lost the AEW World Championship. In that time between, when they requested this from AAA and AAA agreed, the Hangman Page storyline was still going on, but Hangman Page, has made the decision to be at home with his wife as she's about to give birth to their first child. Great decision on his part. Mm-hmm. So that's made them revert course, where they had to they're doing the Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage match at All Out in 2 weeks. Now, with that coming, and the fans always still being into the Hangman Page going after Kenny Omega, they weren't that enthused, especially when it was first announced last week on Dynamite that Kenny Omega was versing Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. AEW made the decision on the debut episode of Rampage to have Christian defeat Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship in a great match. I thought that match was excellent, an excellent opener, and a great way to kick off things on the Rampage era. Christian had his moment. He's able to go to Impact Wrestling as the Impact World Champion, a legend in TNA Impact Wrestling. And then, Kenny Omega wasn't aware that Andrade would have Ric Flair in his corner. But when he made it to Mexico on Saturday and found out that Ric Flair was backstage and going to be in Andrade's corner, Kenny Omega came up with an idea where Andrade could win, thanks to Ric Flair, and, he could only have one title left, the AEW World Championship, and he becomes more desperate. And Tony Khan liked Kenny Omega's idea and agreed with it, but it was AAA's president who decided that he wanted to keep the title on Kenny Omega and not go put it on Andrade, because he wants to do Kenny Omega against maybe a star from AAA like a Psycho Clown or a Vikingo. A lot of people reacted reacted because Dave Meltzer's original report was that AEW wanted Kenny Omega to keep the title, and AAA had already wanted to transfer the title over to Andrade, have a Mexican star as champion. So people got up in arms like, oh my God, Kenny Omega is pulling a Hulk Hogan or a Jeff Jarrett or a Triple H, saying, oh, that booking doesn't work for me, brother. But it was actually Kenny Omega. Once Dave Meltzer found out the real information, he kind of revised his report, retracted his report, because Kenny Omega was down with getting it over to Andrade, especially with Ric Flair being there, knowing how great of a moment it would have been to, Andrade to win the title with his father-in-law in his corner. He wanted the title to get put on Andrade, but it was AAA who made the decision to keep it on Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has become the second longest reigning AAA mega champion in history. He's tied the all-time record for defenses as well. So this is something, they put a lot of equity into Kenny Omega as the champion. And although people got up in arms like, oh my God, they didn't want to put the title on another freaking AEW guy. So AEW. So it's like people got so upset, but they're not realizing that it's the same difference if Omega has it or Andrade had it. It means that a non-AAA talent is going to have your top title. So it's not going to be in Mexico. It's not going to be defended on an often basis in Mexico. It's going to be in the United States. It's going to be on AEW. And honestly, the AAA Mega Championship gets more camera time and TV time than AAA altogether by being on an AEW talent. And why would you not want to have it on the top talent in AEW, the AEW World Champion, who's put together classic match of the year candidates with Rey Fenix and Laredo Kid for AAA in the past? He had a great match, in my opinion, against Andrade. Don't ask Dave Meltzer in his star ratings what he thought about the match, because that's a whole nother story within itself and how Andrade reacted to that. But I thought it was a great match. Andrade, it showed probably more than he's shown since he left WWE, and I hope we see more of that Andrade in AEW, especially coming up at All Out when he goes one-on-one with Pac. So it was a very overreaction from a lot of professional wrestling fans, which seems to be a theme with the internet wrestling community. But it was once again that where it wasn't AEW who made the final decision, it was AAA. And it says a lot about the relationship that AAA and AEW have developed together, that they did want to keep the title on Kenny Omega, and that Tony Khan had such a close relationship with them that he was able to get them to make that decision at first. So it says a lot that their relationship is very strong. It says a lot about the Impact Wrestling AEW relationship, with the fact that, they put it on another AEW talent in Christian Cage. Christian Cage was able to appear at their TV tapings this past week and, develop his own storylines in Impact Wrestling. So I don't know what they're going to do at All Out. I would love for them to do champion versus champion, Impact World Champion versus AEW World Champion, winner takes all at All Out, because I feel like that would bring even more juice to their matchup. Although their match on Rampage did pick up the steam in the rivalry between Christian and Omega, I feel making it champion versus champion would give it even more steam. So I hope they go with that. But it's very cool that, we're at a time where AEW is working with so many different promotions, whether it's Impact Wrestling, whether it's New Japan, whether it's AAA, and the relationships are so good that, they're making decisions together for the top titles.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm totally with you. It makes for a much more healthy, enjoyable product, I think, especially for the fans. Let's take a few more comments in that have just been coming on after out of that. And Fifth Giancarni saying Omega should have retained. I don't know why people are getting hot about it. Andrade was never wrestled there. Why would? Yeah, exactly. That's what SB is basically saying. Yeah, Uncle Gripper, Ric Flair. It sounds like he's saying whoop hoo right there. He's got a P in there, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Whoop hoo. Yeah, exactly. Could be the new one. Perhaps it's the AEW one because they can't. They might have a trademark or something. You never know.
Might have a trademark on woo.
It wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. Also, Mark Lloyd says no, wasn't anything like that, guys. Apparently, so yeah, whatever we're thinking, apparently it's not.
He's like, I'm just curious. I'm just curious. As he types in OnlyFans WWE in his computer.
Exactly. Brett Thomas, why doesn't Tony just buy Impact and AAA? Well, I think, come on. I mean, look, if he does that, right, everything we've just been talking about, it, what makes it so good, kind of goes. Once somebody owns something, I don't care even if they say, "Oh, we'll leave you to it." There's investment in it, and they kind of want it their way. I enjoy how it is at the moment because to me, it's like a throwback to the territories. I know it's nothing like that, but the way talent are moving about, this means that somebody like a Christian can go to Impact, put the shine on him, and look at what he can do to help Impact with Christian. Christian can come back a lot, even more fresh. So I kind of enjoy this. I don't want to see Tony Khan be like, well, we're going to just buy you out. You know, that's just, I think that's WWE's mentality, if anything.
Exactly.
But I prefer this one. I prefer a working relationship myself.
Yeah, that's why people weren't excited about when there was talks that WWE was working with New Japan, because every relationship WWE has had in the past 30, 40 years with another promotion led to them either buying them out or sucking them dry. This is not what AEW. AEW wants, health for other wrestling promotions, whether it be Impact Wrestling, whether it be AAA, even independent. St. Louis Anarchy were booked Daniel Garcia for their show on Friday, this coming Friday, and AEW, booked Daniel Garcia for Rampage and the Dark taping on Friday, and they literally gave money to St. Louis Anarchy. They gave them the money that they had paid Daniel Garcia for travel to reimburse them, because they are so giving, because they want to help. They don't want to, put an independent promotion like that under the bus or take away a talent from them unless they're getting reimbursed. And St. Louis Anarchy put that out in the public, because that's the misconception with wrestling promotion. It's everybody think it's cutthroat. Everybody thinks Tony's going to buy something just like Vince did in the past. People need to actually restructure their mind and realize that this might possibly not be like WWE, whether people want to believe it or not.
Or accept it, I think. Is more to the point.
Yeah, that's
Uncle Gripper. Overreactions by Marks. I think he's referring to what happened as well. And also says CM Punk, a baby, I can't wait. I think that's meant to be baby, I can't wait. But I know what you mean. Uncle Gripper, yes, obviously you can't get away from the whole CM Punk, and we will be getting to that in due time. Literally after this next promotional video, we'll be rounding up with the SummerSlam preview, NXT TakeOver, and of course the all-important AEW Rampage. We'll see you straight after this.
We are about the love of pro wrestling. We are the pre-match entrance and the post-match interview. We are the passion. We are the fun. We are Pete Dunne. We are the tricks, the risks, the crunching drop kicks. We are the wrestling show display. We are Mariah May. We are the spine buster, flailing punch, and brutal knee. We are watching for the count of 3. We are Paul Robinson and Chantel Jordan. We are the art in the ring. We are the bright lights. We are the squared circle and the life of the fight. To re-watch our favorite wrestlers' moments, to live and breathe through the eyes of their opponents. We build the vision for you to explore here at Powered 4.
Yes, there you go. Powered4.tv, the place to go. Honestly, it said that's actually an old promotional video there, but there's actually 30 promotions currently sitting on there right now, all with their archives, over 400 hours worth of wrestling content, featuring yours truly on screen right now, Mr. SP3 from True Heel Heat, and of course the code, as I said earlier, use the code SP3, 50% off your first month. Loads of great stuff. TNT Extreme Wrestling. We've got another 2 shows coming up this weekend. If you couldn't get any more wrestling as it is, we've got more for you. So just to fill in the gaps, watch some TNT Extreme Wrestling. Watch all the great promotions on there. We've got loads of stuff coming in as well. So yeah, check that out. Use the code SP3. Let's get to some comments in SP3 before we move on. I've got Honest Beyond Reasonable. HBR, as you call him, SP3. I saw him in your show recently. I'm going to be sad. Last one for you two. Been great weekly bite of wrestling updates. I suppose I'll ask what you both think CM Punk will do for AEW if the likely debut happens as expected Friday. Well, we will get to that, Honest Beyond Reasonable. So I will hold that from you on that question, on that topic, just for you. We are going to get to that straight after these questions, but thank you very much for the comment there about us. And don't forget, SP3 isn't going away. You're still going to see him on True Heel Heat, which is on Powered4.tv. Don't forget, you can still see him across YouTube, the entire world, the globe of YouTube. And of course, he'll be back once a month with us anyway. So he's not totally going, not just yet. We're not making the scissors out here.
I'm not a budget cut.
Not just yet. Rambo, the rambling one. As much as I don't see what SP3 does in modern day wrestling, I have a deep respect for him. And in fact, he calls it like he sees it. Well, there you go. I don't know if that's a compliment or not there, SP3. But it's as good as you're going to get from Rambo. And also, of course, he's put some faults in. He's backed it up. My thoughts are simply this: CM Punk is demanding guy, and he's had plenty of time to reflect on wrestling and what it needs to be. Wait until 12 months, and Tony will have his hands full with him backstage. Wink, smiley face. Well, I don't know what that quite means. I knew there'd be something in like that, though. You can't have a pure positive from Rambo. He's always going to see the negative side of anything. Rachel Cornell, the absolute gem that she is, she's back. I'm actually really excited for this weekend. I think both AEW and WWE, great time to be a fan. Yes, I would say I'm excited for Punk, excited for SummerSlam, excited for Walter and Dragunov too. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, look, everyone can bitch and moan and they don't like this, they don't like that. In my opinion, look, we haven't just got WWE now. We've got AEW as well. So it's like, if you don't want to watch one of them, just stay with the other. Be content with that. But don't worry about, what each other's doing. And one has to be better than the other all the time. Just enjoy the whole weekend. I think Rachel's got the right idea. I certainly will be. Also, HBR again, AEW in Chicago for 4 weeks. So they could hold out until the 4th week. I think he's referring to.
He means 4 events. It's 4 events, not 4 weeks. So you got this. You got Friday with Rampage, the first stands. You got Dynamite on September 1st. You got Rampage on September 3rd, and then All Out on September 5th. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't hold out on the 4 weeks. I don't want to see the wrestling
internet would explode.
The wrestling world would burn down if Punk didn't debut on Friday.
Only an hour. So I mean, imagine it, SP2. If you get right to the last 60 seconds, you're like, where is it? People getting ready on their phone even before it's just about to go off 30 seconds. I didn't get it. Cancel AEW, cancel TNT. Don't watch them. I don't see. I think that would be a big mistake now if they did that. But I know what you mean. I think had there not been this crazy speculation going on, and it has been partly played up by AEW as well. So I think because of that, I say he is, and there would have only been a chance if they hadn't. But let's face it, internally they are. So it's kind of like it. I don't know. I wouldn't like to say what would happen if, for instance, somebody else come out instead. That would be quite shocking, I think. Anyway, Brett Thomas. Oh, here we go. I knew. I saw the two names. I knew it would only matter of time. It would make more sense to bring in Logan Paul for this week's Rampage. I mean, can you imagine that, SP3? We don't get CM Punk on Friday. We get Logan Paul. Apparently, according to Brett, this is he'll boost up more for a showdown with CM Punk for a pay-per-view. That would have more eyes than Darby versus Punk. The world, according to Brett Thomas, only on this show you will get those views and viewpoints. But yeah, my God, if that happens, then I tell you what, if that happens, I may have to quit. Because I might just say to Brett, you have a show. Because if you know, I don't know, I can't go on.
You do a show called Predictions by Brett. Predictions.
Exactly. And I'll believe it. Mark Lloyd back again. I'd love to see John Cena win this Saturday. I really would. I think Roman isn't a success because of how long they have wasted and sacrificed other talent in the process of years, not months, years. Okay, he's not happy.
But didn't they do the same thing with John Cena?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of a terrible person to put up against there, isn't it? In that argument, really. El Sacano, when you are at wrestling shows now, given the cat is out of the bag and everyone knows, and even the product tells you, what are some things we can have still to make wrestling still more protected? Blimey, this is coming out of left field. I don't know, mate. I mean, when you're at a show, everything is in kayfabe, isn't it? I mean, when you're watching it, it's not like the wrestlers go, hang on, we're just going to rehearse and then we're going to do the move. I mean, it is kayfabe.
I don't understand why this is still a question. Like, they protect the business. I can't stand it. Oh. I can't stand the Twitters and the internet.
The only, I don't think there is anything you can change. The only thing I would say, the last time I went to WWE, like a Raw, I get sick and tired of the adverts in between. I'm like, that stuff I could do without, because they'll plug a documentary and they'll tell you, like, go behind the scenes and find out how it really happened. And I don't want to hear all that crap whilst I'm watching Raw, because I just think, like, Raw's the main focus. I want to enjoy the storylines. I want to kind of come out of the building after 2 hours, and then I'll think about documentaries and how it happened. But other than that, listen, they're doing everything in kayfabe. I don't think you can get any more than what they're doing at the moment. And let's just go. Let's make sure. Also, Brett saying, will you both watch Logan versus Woodley? What is that? It's next. That's the week after, I believe. I shall no doubt see the highlights. I won't be sitting up for it. But I'll watch the highlights.
I plan on watching the NWA.
It's Jake. It's not Logan.
I plan on watching the NWA pay-per-views in Power and 73 anniversary. I'll see if I can squeeze in Paul versus Woodley.
You do that, SP3. And also Mark Lloyd saying, I think Julie's a nice person. That's all. Uncle Gripper basically just acknowledging SP3 there, I believe. Right, okay. That said, Honest Beyond Reasonable, he asked this. Obviously, we've got AEW Rampage, the first dance preview. Big show coming up this Friday. Obviously, SP3, the anticipation for this, I have to say, even though, like, I heard some people go, wouldn't it have been nice if we didn't know anything and CM Punk would just turn up? Like, yes, it would be. But I think it would make zero sense on the ratings, because you got to build this and build this and build this. I'm expecting a huge rating for Friday, and if they didn't do this stuff and he did come out of nowhere, yes, it would be fantastic for the live crowd, something to remember forever, I'm sure. But they wouldn't be able to kind of get that, like, that build that anticipation for just, you know, a 1 hour show. So even though that's the case, it's still, like, kind of, for me, CM Punk has been out of the ring for so long that it's still going to be pretty decent. I'm still going to, like, pretty much be, like, marking out, like, the fact that CM Punk is back and he's in a wrestling ring. Yes, we saw him do the stuff on WWE, that awful bloody show that I couldn't stand, for love nor money. I really did not like that. But this is something totally different. Tell us about this one, SB3. What are you expecting from AEW Rampage?
It very much surprised me because I said on Wrestling Daily on Monday that I thought the rating for the first week of Rampage would do like between 500, 550,000, and that was based off of what they did with Dynamite in that same slot on Friday nights at 10 p.m. But I didn't take into account that Dynamite was a 2-hour show and Rampage is 1 hour, so it's very it's a lot easier to maintain a big audience if you have it in the first segment and maintain it throughout the show. I thought it was very smart to have your biggest superstar, the biggest superstar outside of WWE, in Kenny Omega versus a former WWE star, former WWE World Heavyweight Champion in Christian Cage in the first match for the Impact World Championship. So, and you got a title change to start the show. So that allowed more people to, want to tune in for the rest of the show. And I feel like it flew by, and we found out on Monday that they did 740,000 for the debut. So that raises my anticipation for, this week's show. And I think that it's more reasonable that they can do between 900 and 1 million viewers on Friday night with the anticipation going. And I love the people that, say, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we didn't know anything? And then there's other people that's like, I don't believe it until I see it. So what are you guys talking about? What are you guys? There's no pleasing professional wrestling fans. It seems like there's half of you that don't believe it until you see it. So it doesn't matter how AEW promotes this or teases this, you're not going to believe it until you see CM Punk walk out on the show. And then there's the other half of you like, oh, they ruined the surprise. Oh, I'm not going to be as excited as I would have been. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, just cut it out. Like, how many times has AEW given us a surprise that we didn't expect? No one predicted that Miro was going to come out after All Out last year. No one predicted Sting was going to show up at Winter is Coming. Like, AEW has surprised us plenty of different times. So I think that this one is something that they want to pay off on a TV rating. The report already came out by Fightful Select. Numerous people within the business already knew about it. They just didn't want to report it without getting further confirmation. Sean Ross Sapp was the first one who got the confirmation, and he released the report. And they had to play into it, and they've given us enough hints that it's gonna happen. Because why would AEW do a show in Chicago 2 weeks before they do 3 shows during All Out week? Why would they call it the first dance for if it's not for a first time appearance for a major star? Why would Darby Allin cut a promo saying that if you want to prove yourself to be the greatest you have to come to AEW, even if you think you're the best in the world? And why would they repeat that promo during their advertisement for the first dance on Rampage last week? All of these signs point to they want to build the anticipation. They want to tease it. So even if they teased it the way they did, if the report never came out by Sean Ross Sapp for Fightful Select, people would have said, oh, it must mean CM Punk is coming. And look at times that, quote unquote, things got ruined for us. Edge heading into Royal Rumble 2020. A lot of people already knew Edge was going to show up. That didn't stop Houston, Texas from blowing the roof off of the joint when he made his appearance. Brock Lesnar all the way back in 2012 after WrestleMania 28. Speculation for weeks upon weeks before that.
He was walking around that whole weekend with a huge entourage, as I recall. So
exactly, weeks upon weeks, it was about Brock Lesnar is going to come for WrestleMania or the Raw after WrestleMania, and he blew the roof off the joint after WrestleMania. So I feel like wrestling fans need to just chill out, relax, stop overreacting to everything, and enjoy the moment. Enjoy what you're going to see how it comes off, because we don't know how it's going to happen. I've speculated many of things, and I think the right move is, I talked to Dutch Mantel about it, because now me, Dutch, and Rick Ucchino, we do the review for not only SmackDown on Friday night, we start 1 hour later because we watch Rampage and we review that as well. Please guarantee we'll talk about Rampage first this week and not SmackDown. But yes, we talked about it, and I think we all agreed that the best decision is to tease it at the beginning of the show and then save his appearance till the end of the show. So I think that the right thing to do would start off the night with the music, with the din and MJF come out and troll the crowd like, oh, you thought it was gonna be him? I'm the real best in the world. I'm the man here. And he challenges, Darby Allin for the main event. You have that matchup. You have Darby Allin win that match, and you have the Pinnacle jumping Darby Allin after the match, and then the music hits again at the end of the night, and CM Punk comes down. He beats down. He fights off all of the Pinnacle, lays them all out. He's standing in the middle of the ring with Darby Allin. He turns around and he drops Darby Allin with the go to sleep, and you end the show with the Chicago fans cheering on their returning hero, even though he just laid out one of the top babyface. He's also beat up and started a feud with the top heel faction. So you got him somewhere in the middle where CM Punk can face babyfaces, can face heels. You don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know who he's going to verse at All Out. Is he going to verse Darby Allin? Is he going to verse MJF? Is he going to verse someone else? It's kind of that type of feeling, and he doesn't need to say anything. I don't think they should do CM Punk on the mic on this show. Just have him appear, have him do something, have him drop somebody with the go to sleep. I think just doing something like that and then saving his first time talking for next week's Dynamite, that you're going to get a big rating for this week on The First Dance. You can get a big rating for AEW Dynamite next week, and then there's one more Dynamite after that until All Out. You can make the announcement there on the next week's Dynamite who he's going to verse at All Out, and you have Rampage, another Dynamite, and another Rampage to build up anticipation for his comeback match. So I just think that would be the best decision of how to play it out.
Yeah, I think you're spot on as well. And I want to just take people back to certain things here. Yes, there are two different ways of doing this, and there's no right or wrong answer with it. Yes, it's fantastic that we saw the Hardys come out of nowhere. Yes, it's great when John
even
Cena
that was teased. Even that was talked about.
That is true.
They literally, when we were talking, I saw the Hardys that same day of WrestleMania 33, and my friend, when we met them for the meet and greet, my friend was like, "So you're showing up on Monday Night Raw, right?" The only thing that was a surprise was them showing up at WrestleMania. That was the only thing that was a surprise. Everybody knew they were going back to WWE, but people act like, "Oh no, no one knew. No one knew." Yes, everybody knew.
Was you there at Madison Square Garden when John Cena come out in the Rumble?
No, I wasn't. I was in Madison Square Garden when Triple H returned in 2002. But unfortunately I missed that Royal Rumble because that was the last time that I can generally say WWE had a surprise that no one saw coming.
Crazy injury and nobody expected him back. But that's perfect. But somebody's just putting out, who is it? I think it's Carnage Payne. And this is actually really a good point here he's put in, because I remember this one very, very well. I can't actually find the comment now, but I will find it. But he mentioned Bret Hart when he come back in 2010. And if you think, I think they gave it 1 week's worth of build, he was going to be there. And again, you think how long he'd gone, people would have gone, oh, why didn't they just have him show up? No, you want to build it like he had Vince McMahon at the beginning, Shawn Michaels at the end, bookended the show like you just said, SP3. That is the best way to do it. That's one of the only times I felt WWE got that spot on with something like Bret coming back. And I think this is a similar thing. I honestly do. Also, just some comments coming in. Uncle Gripper, who do you want to win, Roman or Cena? He's put here. I would personally like Roman, because I think they've invested enough in him up until this point. I mean, last year at SummerSlam, he come back. So it's been a whole good arc to this storyline. So I kind of feel like to lose it now would be a bit disappointing in terms of a booking standpoint. Same for USP3?
Yeah, I gotta go with the tribal chief. I acknowledge you, Roman. I am Team Roman. Although I've been Team Cena since day one. I've been a Cena fan. Even my old school American Online handle was JCenaKB8 because I was a John Cena fan and a Kobe Bryant fan when I made that handle. I gotta go with Roman. That's the right decision. He's been the man for WWE. They got to keep it going.
Exactly. CM Punk has the following. For Logan Paul, oh God. When will we see Danielson? Bunch of crybabies, says Carnage Payne. Danielson, I said this last week. I kind of feel like they do need to keep a bit of a gap between Punk and Danielson. But what is there much speculation about Danielson in terms of, you know, when he's coming in, or is that very much, you know,
the speculation from the original report was that he's going to debut at Arthur Ashe Stadium on September 22nd, that AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, which I will be at, and I want to see it. I want to be there for it. I want to scream the yes chant. I want to sing Final Countdown. So I will be all for that if that's when he does it. And I think that's enough time, like a month apart from CM Punk's debut. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, that'll be amazing, mate, for you as well if you get that gig. And also, Carnage Payne saying, first dance, it's Jericho doing Strictly Come Dancing instead. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, imagine that. Imagine the internet world trending that Jericho comes out with a Strictly Come Dancing. Yeah, amazing. Carnage Payne also having a bit of fun here, I believe, with the fans here. Mike Jackson comes out, Punk's music of UFC. Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine. That'd be infamous.
But Brett now saying, I can't wait now. And apparently SB3 sold it to me. So there you go, SB3. You've done your job. You've got everybody raring to go. I mean, I'm already excited as it is, but I'm even more excited now after hearing all that. And I think it'll be fantastic. Honestly, can't wait for it. So we'll see what we see. But let's just enjoy it more than I'm sure no matter what they do, somebody will have a problem. Somewhere down the line. He didn't walk properly. It wasn't the old CM Punk walk. NXT TakeOver 36 preview then just quickly on this one, SB3. But we got even though they've ripped the damn roster away from us down at NXT, of course, last week with, of course, more cuts. These scissors are becoming more of a prop. We still do have a card. We've got, obviously, in the UK, I will say everybody has actually been really talking up for a change the NXT UK title because it's at a takeover. It is Volta. It is Dragunov. We've seen what happens before. You and I spoke about it in depth a couple of weeks ago, SP3. Both, I mean, you certainly think it'll be better. I do as well because of your point about the fans. But what else have we got to look forward to here at NXT TakeOver, which, of course, happens on Sunday, not Saturday, but Sunday this year?
Yes, you got Volta versus Dragunov, which I'm very much looking forward to. Although I will admit NXT last week did its best to not make me look forward to it.
Yeah, I was going to say they ruined. Yeah, by
that baffling decision to have Dragunov lose to Pete Dunne, but he came back harder this week, bloody, and still beating Roderick Strong in the opener, and then Walter laying him out, saying that I created you or I made you. That was a great go home angle to kind of put the stamp on that rivalry, and I'm very much looking forward. I think the match is going to be the match of the weekend for sure. You also got Samoa Joe versus Carrion Cross for the NXT Championship. That's another one WWE has tried their best to not make us interested in with the way they have booked Carrion Cross on the main roster, going 50-50 with Keith Lee and losing to Jeff Hardy in his debut. But I feel like Samoa Joe being back in the ring, it's a glorious day. It's a glorious moment. One of my favorite wrestlers of the past 2 decades being, able to be back in the ring. I'm very happy for it. I'm very much looking forward to that. You also got Dakota Kai versus Raquel Gonzalez, which in my opinion has probably been the best buildup of any match going into TakeOver. 18 months of this relationship, this partnership that Dakota Kai has kind of put on the back burner to go after the gold, the title that she says that she deserved to win way before Raquel Gonzalez. So I feel like that's going to be a good matchup right there. You also got Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight for the $1 Million Championship. If LA Knight wins, Ted DiBiase becomes his personal butler. I feel like that's going to be a fun matchup, and I hope Cameron Grimes finally gets the big W over LA Knight. And then you got the undisputed finale of Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. 2 out of 3 falls, really 3 stages of hell. First match is a singles match, second match is a street fight, and the third and deciding fall will be a steel cage match. I feel like these guys, don't give them 45 minutes like Stand and Deliver, please. That's all I'm asking. And I feel like these guys will deliver a great matchup. They've had two previous very great matchups at Stand and Deliver and the Great American Bash, and I feel like this match will be no different. And especially if it's Kylo, if it winds up being Adam Cole's final WWE match or even NXT match, it's gonna feel like a proper conclusion to a long form story that started all the way back in February when Adam Cole turned on Kyle O'Reilly. So I feel like this is one of the stronger takeover cards that they've had in quite some time.
Absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a great card. Looking forward to it very much. Like you, I'm a little bit kind of disappointed how they built towards Volta and Dragunov again, but hopefully the match gets left alone. They're not going to go straight back to the throwback NXT straight away, and we get another great takeover as per usual. Just a couple of comments as we were talking there. He's got Volta said to Alex McCarthy, said he wants Joe and Brock. Yes, apparently, if anyone hasn't checked that interview out, I don't know if it's available now. I know he posted a clip up recently speaking to him. But yes, he did mention those names. I mean, that would be fantastic. And as Rachel had said, I'd love to see Walter versus Joe. Yeah, I mean, imagine the physicality of that one. Blimey. That would be pretty something. It is. And, they're there at the same time. So you never know. These kind of things, they might see him backstage and go, that would be something to work towards. That would be pretty cool. But it is WWE, so don't hold your breath. We don't know quite. And of course, SummerSlam, the preview that takes place on Saturday in Vegas. This time, I'm really happy that it's on Saturday. It helps me out a lot being in the UK. Just in terms of times and getting up the next day and goodness knows what else, trying to get all the information and media out. But SB3 got obviously a big card here. We spoke about, I think most of the matches now are pretty much there. Are we to assume that Friday night will be the quote unquote pre-show as per usual? They seem to like doing that now. Is that going to be the case, or have USA kind of put their stick in and said, stop doing this, WWE? We want the pre-show stuff.
I think they're gonna do like a proper pre-show on Saturday more than they're gonna do like a SummerSlam Friday Night SmackDown. I feel like they would have announced it by now if they were gonna do that. But I believe it's a 10-match card. Some of the matches, I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not very much interested in. I'm not very much interested in Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. I'm not very much interested in Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. I'm not even interested in the Raw Women's Championship match with Nikki ASH versus Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, mainly down to how they booked Nikki ASH.
What was the speculation about the other female match? Why was that? There was like some news coming out that it wasn't going to be on there. What was all that about?
Well, basically, the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks were kept off of this weekend's live event, so that led to speculation that they were like sick. It was called unforeseen circumstances that kept them off of there. And whenever that happens with a WWE superstar nowadays, it's usually they have catch COVID-19. WWE doesn't make that stuff public because they want to respect the privacy of their performers. But 3 ladies were off of this weekend's shows. Charlotte Flair was in Mexico City for Andrade's match at AAA Triple Mania, while Bianca and Sasha, it was still unknown. So that led to concern as well as speculation that their match would be off of SummerSlam. And that would be a big blow to the show because I feel like Bianca versus Sasha 2 is one of the bigger matchups on the show and one of the matchups I'm very much looking forward to. You got the U.S. Championship on the line, Sheamus versus Damian Priest. You got the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line, AJ Styles and Omos defending against RK Bro. Please give me an RK Bro win, the best thing on SmackDown. Best thing on Raw. SmackDown Tag Team Championships, you got the Usos versus the Mysterios. You got the WWE Championship on the line, Bobby Lashley defending against Goldberg. Although I'm not been that enthused with that match. I've not been that enthused with the build-up. The build-up has been highly highly lackluster. I will
Mhm.
say that if this match is 5 to 6 minutes long, it's going to be a lot of action, and it should be fun to watch overall, in my opinion. Edge versus Seth Rollins has the potential to be a show stealer. That's a dream match within itself. And then you got the main event, which is also a big time dream match, which is Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Like I said before, I'm rooting for Roman Reigns to win here, but the John Cena win is more of a possibility than it's ever been before because of Ric Flair not being in WWE. He doesn't have a non-compete clause. That's why he was able to appear on Triple Mania this weekend. And if we learn anything from WWE, when a person leaves, they like to erase their name from history. Right now, John Cena.
Yeah. I'd be so disappointed. Only because they have not even mentioned Ric Flair and all this. Like, at least last time at SummerSlam, I don't know what one it was that we were at. Was it 15, 14? I can't remember.
Yeah, 2015 when he was about to tie him.
Right, they made such a big song and dance about it, and I was really into it. So, like, just to do it out of spite would be, I think, A, it would ruin what they've done with Roman, and 2, it just makes them. I mean, how long would that last? A month? I mean, it'd be totally pointless. Do not do it.
To be fair, the payoff for them mentioning that he was going to tie Ric Flair was Jon Stewart coming in and protecting Ric Flair being the only 16-time world champion. That was the payoff for them, teasing that he was gonna tie Ric Flair. So I will take them not mentioning it.
No, that's what I mean. I liked it because they did do something with it, but like, I just feel to just do it like with nothing. Like, I bet you even when Cena does get it, if Ric Flair's not under contract, they'll be like, they won't even mention him. It'll just be like, he's the all-time, greatest champion now because he's got 17, unlike anyone else. And they'll probably go back to the next champion. Like, oh, who's the next up and coming? Randy? Or is it Triple H?
Randy's at 14, and I think Triple H is at 13.
There you go. So, yeah, totally. Do not want to see it. Do not want to see it. It's the only time I don't want to see it. I like John Cena. I just think it'd be the wrong time to have him in that. Just a couple of points towards the end. We've got Rachel saying, will SummerSlam be better than Mania? That's a good question, and a hard one as well, because it kind of could be, but I just feel WrestleMania might get the edge because it was like 2 nights, and even though they had that horrendous beginning of the second night, there's still some very good, memorable stuff. What I do think this one will do better at is just the atmosphere. I think it'll be better. I think because of where it is, it's a little bit closer proximity as well. It's not a stadium, and I think with that amount of people, it'll probably generate quite a bit of buzz, especially in the Roman Cena match. But I don't know. It could be equal. What about you, SP3?
I think that it might not be able to reach the heights of WrestleMania Night 1 this year, but overall, I would say WrestleMania was like a 6 or a 7 because of how bad like the beginning portion of Night 2 was, and missable matchups like the tag team turmoil and the women's tag team championship on Night 2 and Randy versus the Fiend. So yeah, like I think overall, if they keep the stuff like Alexa and Eva Marie and Jinder and Drew short, although I'm not interested in the Raw Women's Triple Threat match, that matchup has the potential to be good because we saw Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley have an even worse build-up heading into Money in the Bank, and then they had one of the best matches of the night, so they can do that again here. So I think if they keep the 2 matches, Drew and Jinder and Eva and Alexa short, I think this has the potential to be better than WrestleMania overall.
Yeah. Even though minus Hulk Hogan and a box-like structure. That's what you need at these events. That's the one they're missing. Rachel also saying, and is Cena staying around after, do we know? I have no idea. Do you, SP3?
I don't have a clue. I do know he's scheduled to appear at the Madison Square Garden show in September. So there is a possibility that Cena could win and they add more dates to the summer of Cena, make it the fall of Cena, pun intended. And and then do another big matchup with him at Extreme Rules or something like that. So the Cena win is not off the table, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And lastly, Mark Lloyd, Goldberg is terrible. Is Goldberg going to win? I hope not. That's even worse than what I just said about Cena. In fact, I'd put that below just this one. If Goldberg beats Lashley for the title, I'll be devastated, quite frankly. I don't see it. I hope it's quick, short. That's all I want to see, an in and out match, Goldberg type match, but not him winning. What do you think, SP3?
Oh, I hope not. I hope Goldberg does not win. If WWE wants to do something that can even come close to what AEW is going to do with possibly the debut of CM Punk on Rampage the night before, I think the right decision at SummerSlam would do something like have Bobby Lashley beat Goldberg, stand in the ring and say, there's no one left for me to beat. And then you hear, don't. And Brock Lesnar comes out and lays down a challenge for Bobby Lashley. I feel like that would be the best move.
Yeah, not the Bronco Brock Lesnar though, Brett. I'm afraid that hopefully won't be happening. But yes, thank you very much, everybody. It's been a very entertaining show. What should be a very entertaining weekend. I suggest everybody stay tuned to it. Check out all the great content. Of course, we've got some great content coming up for this weekend and on your side of things as well, SP3, with True Heel Heat. I believe actually currently going on right now, we have this going on over on the Heel Heat channel right now. So if you're sick and tired of hearing our voices, you can go and check that out. I will give you permission to go and check out the True Heel Heat. They are doing that right now currently. For us, but loads coming up. We've got this coming up this weekend. It's the Powered 4, of course, the SummerSlam weekend. We're going to be doing both preview nights for SummerSlam and NXT TakeOver from our friends over at the Games and Graps. They'll be coming on at 8 p.m. UK time to do that. The pre-show before the pre-show, always very, very entertaining. On those ones, I'll also be doing a preview as well for Saturday morning with I won't tell you who it is, but he used to be at Wrestling Travel. He now writes at Sportskeeda. There's the clues. But he will be with me. He'll be giving a nice preview of what that will be. And also, I'll be debuting another new show just for Powered4.TV called The Cut. And that will basically be a roundup show of all the events happening on the platform. But SP3, it is that time of the week. It's the final time of that week as well that you'll be doing this for at least a month anyway, to tell us where exactly you are going to be in what is surely going to be one of your busiest times doing what we do, because especially if there's sort of off the cuff stuff happening, I would imagine you're going to be even more busy. But tell the viewers, SP3, where we can find you this week.
Oh man, this is a lot. Get
the PA, get a diary. Let's line it up, people.
So yes, you can find me later today on the Wrestling Daily. Excuse me. See, I gotta work on my voice inflection.
You gotta build.
You can find me later today on the Wrestling Daily YouTube channel with Alex McCarthy, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK with Wrestling Daily. We're going to be talking about, NXT last night. We're going to be talking about TakeOver and SummerSlam, the latest wrestling news. Of course, one of our great debates. We also got tomorrow. Don't have anything actually, but check out the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. True Heel Heat YouTube channel tonight at 1 a.m. UK, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going live with a live watch along for AEW Dynamite. Tomorrow we got another edition of NX3, as well as a live edition of Blunt Impact following Impact Wrestling. Friday I'll be live with Jimmy Macaram with the latest AE Ramble reviewing AEW Dynamite. night, as well as later on that evening. We have a full watch along. I think it's going to be like a 3-hour watch along of Impact Emergence, as well as WWE SmackDown, as well as AEW Rampage, the first dance. So you can watch along with the True Hill Heat group, see their reactions to the big stuff going on, and possibly CM Punk's debut. Friday as well, I'll be over on the Sports Keto Wrestling YouTube channel with Rick Ucchino. With Rick Ucchino and Dutch Mantel for Smack Talk as usual, following SmackDown and Rampage. But I'll also be on earlier in the day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. BST with wrestling manager extraordinaire Kenny Bolin, as well as the legendary Dutch Mantel to preview SummerSlam.
Him back.
To preview SummerSlam. Yes, I'm going to be in between two wrestling legends. I'm going to be the person in the middle, and they're going to overtalk me and take over the show. And yeah, I'm going to be talking at a minimum on that one. So that's good. That's good, because I will also be back on Wrestling Daily. Huge edition of Wrestling Daily. All 4 co-hosts, myself, Alex McCarthy, Stephanie Chase, and Sat Ying Yi will be live previewing the huge weekend, previewing Rampage, previewing NXT TakeOver 36, SummerSlams. It's a huge day on Friday. I'm going to get no sleep. So it's going to be a lot of busy stuff for me on that day. And then Saturday morning, you can see me at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. UK. I'll be with Top Guy JJ, Miss Chrissy Love, and our special guest, Alex McCarthy, for a very special 4-year anniversary of our podcast, True Hill Heat 139. We're going to be previewing TakeOver, previewing SummerSlam. We're going to be talking about AEW Rampage First Dance, either talking about the internet wrestling community burning down because CM Punk didn't debut, or talking about them rejoicing if CM Punk does debut. And then later that evening on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, we do a live watch along for SummerSlam, so you can join the gang, watch the big show in Las Vegas. And then on Sunday, the final day of our huge SummerSlam week, I'll be with the fellas at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. UK for our SummerSlam live roundtable review. And then later that evening, the fellas are getting together, the NX3 crew, as well as a few others, for a live roundtable review of NXT TakeOver 36. So that will be the end of a full week of live and signature content from True Hill Heat. So subscribe there, subscribe to Wrestling Daily, subscribe to Sports Keto Wrestling, and subscribe right here to Powered4 TV. They're slowly approaching 2K subscribers. There's a bunch of great content, games and grabs, Big Fight Weekly. There's a whole bunch of great content, and you can see me once a month now. I know it's sad for some people who love Powered4SP3, but I'll be busy a lot of the time, so you can always see me on YouTube. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and follow along with the journey.
Absolutely. And just to make, Brett here's gone, thanks so much, guys. He's also put, I'll miss you. Blimey, Brett. SP3's just told you exactly where he's going to be. He's 24/7 for the next week. I've told you I'm going to be on a weekend. You're not going to miss us that much. Blimey. We're still going to be here. We're not going anywhere, Brett. We're still around. El Sicano, nice one, guys. Have a good evening. Yes, I don't think it's quite that yet for SP3, but he will be. Rachel Cornell, I will now watching along with you, True Hill Heat. There you go. It's a good place to go. I always like watching watch alongs, especially if you're on your own. It's kind of like you can interact with other fans in the live chat, and there's always a good atmosphere with the True Hill Heat gang, that's for sure, with what those guys do. So great place to go and check it out. It's going to be a busy one, absolutely no doubt about that. SP3 for the final time anyway for a while now. It has come to that final time when I'll have to say goodbye for now, SP3, but also we will see you very soon. I won't be making any more cuts just yet. Must have used this prop now at least 10 times. I've got an advert going on with these scissors. That's what people don't realize. I had to get it in at least 10 times. I've just managed it. So hopefully whoever makes these, I want to know, because I want to get a sponsor. We can make some good money off this, I believe. But yeah, thank you very much, SP3. It's been an absolute blast coming on here every week, hearing your expertise. He's done a tremendous job, always energetic. I don't know how you do it. It's like a Duracell battery. Doesn't stop. Does not stop. Don't even know if he sleeps. But he's always there. But thank you very much, and I'll look forward to seeing all the great stuff that you guys do over the weekend. So basically, it's a farewell from me, farewell from SP3, and we'll see you very soon. Don't worry, very soon. Take care, everybody.